On Juneteenth, a number of the Black residents of Mexico City, and some guests as well, decided to walk down Reforma Avenue since it was closed to traffic. While walking, I thought this was a good time to ask people about their life in the city. Here's what they had to say. All right, friends, I am here with Anita. Say hi. Who has lived in Mexico City for
A total of 13 years.
all right.
Yeah.
Now, tell the people what you like about living in Mexico City.
Well, the things I love about Mexico City, I think it's a super, there's a lot to do. Like there's the restaurants and art and culture, that it's close. I love the weather. I like the vibe, the spirit, of Mexicans in general, but Mexico City in particular. And I love that there's so many lovely places outside of Mexico City to visit on weekends, like Valle de Bravo, Tepoztlan, Cuernavaca, even though Cuernavaca's a little bit more busy than it used to be. I like being in Latin America. To me, it's a really great capital city in any country in the world, but also as part of Latin America. And there's parts of Mexico City that's really beautiful. I don't think it gets credit for that, but there are definitely parts that have beautiful architecture, beautiful greenery like around here. And there's so much culture and art. So, yeah, that's what I love.
Now, what don't you love about living in the city?
What don't I love? Well, for a long time, I didn't like being the only Black person for miles. That's changing, obviously. I think that people still have misconceptions about Black people that show up in different places, even though it's not like, I wouldn't say it's like the most racist place I've been. It's just definitely people still learning. That's hard sometimes. Traffic sucks, and it's back now after COVID, and that's just like people drive like crazy here. But I think you probably find that in a lot of major cities, so it's not particular to Mexico City. And what else do I? Oh my God, there's so little that I dislike. Let me see. Literally, there's like that's it. Like everything else, I really like. I suppose like there's this crime thing, that there is this sense of anxiety about crime a little bit, and fraud, right? So there's crime, like, people robbing you and things like that. But also there's a lot of conversation about fraud, like whether it's like bank fraud or basically anything you're trying to do, there's a threat that you'll be fraud. So I think that's hard to deal with. You have to analyze things a little differently than you would maybe in the US or something. But that's it. Like, I like everything about Mexico City. So, yeah. I don't have anything else to complain about.
Okay, besides like the top 4 neighborhoods that everybody always talks about, where would you tell someone to live or to consider? What neighborhoods would you tell people to consider, Black people to consider, if they're coming to Mexico City?
Okay, well, I don't know what you think of the first 4, but I'm imagining it's like Roma, Condesa, Polanco. I don't know if Coyoacan is on that list.
I would say it's on the list.
It's on the list. Okay, so I would say there's 2 places that come to mind, or 3 places that come to mind. Obviously, Escandon, where I live. I feel like Escandon is great because it's close to all the, places that have all the action, but also is safe and very still local. Like, there aren't very many foreigners living there, so it's a different vibe, different kind of speed to it. Chimalistan is a very small colonia near, I think it's in between Coyoacan and San Angel, and it's very beautiful, very green, and it's very small, but I think it's also well located. Where else would I say? I think also San Angel. Like, San Angel is hard because it's mostly homes, like big homes. It's not like apartments or whatever. But I think it's a really beautiful colonia. So yeah, those are my. I also think Tlalpan, but Tlalpan is far. But it feels much more sort of suburban. There's some beautiful homes there, but it's still Mexico City, but it's pretty south. So yeah, I think those are the ones I would suggest that I know. I mean, I'm sure there's loads of others that I just don't know.
Thank you so much today for giving us this information today, and say goodbye to the people.
Bye.
So hey, I'm here with Michelle.
Hi.
Hi.
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias. Tell the people. Come on, turn camera. Tell the people where you're from
Seattle, Washington.
and how long have you been here?
Um, January-ish.
Okay, so that's 6 months? 6 months.
Yeah, 5, 6 months.
6 months. Okay.
Más o menos.
So you've been here 6 months. What do you love about living in Mexico City?
Oh, what's not to love? There's culture, there's art, there's food, the weather. Everyone's nice. I like that I can walk down the street and I don't feel like cops are checking for me,
Okay.
and I don't feel threatened or like a troll sometimes that you feel in America. So,
What don't you love about living in the city?
um, it can be kind of isolating for a foreigner, especially if your Spanish is not top notch. Like in fairness, my Spanish is intermediate, and like people understand me when I talk. But this is a very like family community oriented place, and it's like people have their established friend groups. So bringing in an outsider, especially a foreigner, is kind of a thing. So
Okay. Okay. Um, how have you made friends?
joining groups, I've joined exercise groups, volunteer groups, sports stuff. So basically just the same mentality as you would do with the States, like find an activity that you love and you'll find other people that love it too.
For someone thinking about moving here, if they weren't going to move to the top 3 or 4 neighborhoods that everybody talks about, are there neighborhoods that you would recommend they check out?
It depends on your personal goals, because there are neighborhoods that are definitely quieter. Like a neighborhood that I've been staying in has more families in it, and it's a nice neighborhood. Like it has the cafes and everything, but it's not. Yeah, I guess it depends. Like if you like to party or not. Like so, I like Juarez. Juarez is not Condesa or Roma or Polanco, which is the ones you hear about the most. But it's basically in that area. Nápoles is a nice area, off the beaten path, not too far from downtown, but it still has a lot of the amenities that the downtown places have, just a little bit quieter. So, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. And say goodbye to the people.
Bye. Adios.
Hi. Tell everyone your name.
Latoya.
And Latoya, how long have you been in the city?
Almost 2 months.
Okay, and where'd you come from?
Atlanta.
Okay. Now, what do you love about being here?
Oh wow. Well, the weather is getting better now.
And by better, you mean cooler.
Cooler.
Yes.
The wind is picking up.
Uh-huh.
I actually love rainy season
Okay.
because it kind of washes away the day.
Yep.
I love how walkable it is.
Yes.
How many activities you can do outside.
Uh-huh.
I'm still learning the food, so I can't say food yet.
All right.
Still learning. I love how friendly people are, and it's how inexpensive I find things to be in relation to what I used to pay.
So, what don't you love about the city?
I haven't really found things I don't like yet. I mean, I stay uncomfortable because I don't know the city, I don't know the language, and I don't know the people, right?
Okay.
But you also grow in that, so I can't really say there's anything I dislike here yet.
Okay.
I'm loving it so far.
Okay. Okay. So, besides like the top 3 neighborhoods everyone always talks about, 3 or 4 neighborhoods, the Polanco, the Condesa, Roma Norte, Coyoacan, are there any neighborhoods you'd recommend for people who are coming here to check out?
I'm new,
Yes.
but I will say that I love Navarte. That's where I live now.
Okay. What do you love about Navarte?
So Navarte has the shops, the markets. It's very walkable. I found my gym there. It's quiet. I know you say you can't find quiet.
You found quiet?
I found quiet. It's very
Okay.
quiet where I live.
Okay.
And I love the people, so
Okay.
yeah, Navarte's great.
All right. Anything you would tell someone who's considering coming here?
Learn how to read a map.
Yes.
My God, learn how to read a map, because that is what you're going to be using your phone. Learn how to open it up and read a map, because I had to learn that.
Okay.
Be prepared to walk, and I don't know, have fun, have a good time. Everyone's here to have a good time. You should too.
All right. Thank you.
Mhm.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hi.
Tell us your name.
Ivana.
And how long have you been here, Ivana?
9 months in September.
And where'd you come from?
I came from the U.S., Colorado,
Okay.
most recently.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah.
Ivana be
Born and
hiding
raised
stuff.
In Colorado, moved back there, spent the pandemic there.
Okay.
Years, yeah.
What do you love about living in Mexico City?
What don't I love about living in Mexico
We're going to get to
City?
that next, but right now, what do you love?
I love doing stuff like this, of just being able to be out, enjoying the city. I don't have to spend any money. I get to be with people. People are just hanging out. Just hanging out, you know? There's always something going on and something to do. And I really enjoy that about the city.
Okay. What don't you love about the city?
Well, major city, so it's loud. It's a little loud. All the time. Different sales calls and things like that keep you on your toes.
Okay. Anything else?
I mean, things I love, food. There's always something good to eat at any price point, which I really, really enjoy. But yeah, there's a lot that I would say I don't love about Mexico City. It's I'm a city girl, so this very much is my vibe.
Okay. Now, besides the top neighborhoods that everybody always talks about,
Yes.
what neighborhoods would you recommend people coming down here look at Black people coming to the city? What neighborhoods would you tell them to consider?
Yeah, I think if you go a little further south, so like a Navarte, Del Valle, maybe even an Escandon, you're still close to a lot of things that you would want to be doing, but you're going to get a little more of a maybe local experience. You're going to be around a lot more Spanish, a lot more local people, for sure.
Okay. And do you have any advice for people considering moving down here?
You got to be open. You have to be open. You know, things do not work the way that they might in the U.S. or the way that you expect them to all the time. But like there is a system here. So you just have to be willing to kind of go with the flow.
Yes. And sometimes the system is that there's no system.
Exactly.
And it's
You
just
know, the system today may not be the system tomorrow.
The system
That
today-
just is what it is. But you know, things work themselves out.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
The camera loves you. What's your name?
I am Anthony L. Hogan.
How long have you been in Mexico City?
7.5 years now, but it's not all one time.
Okay.
I used to go 1 week in San Francisco, 3 weeks here.
Okay.
Back and forth for like the first 4 years.
Okay, nice. And what do you love about living here?
About Mexico or Mexico City?
Mexico City.
Diversity.
Okay.
Anything you want, you got it here. I mean, anything you want. I used to go hiking every Sunday in Magdalena Contreras, a mountain,
Okay.
inside the city.
Okay.
You know, so they have literally everything you want in Mexico City is here. I love Mexican food, so obviously I have all my options. I don't have to go to Yucatan to eat Yucatan food. I don't got to go to Oaxaca to eat Oaxacan food. I can do it all right here in Mexico City.
Okay.
So I'm not a big fan of cities, but this is the middle of everything. This allows me to get to where I want to go.
What don't you love about living in Mexico City?
My pet peeves.
Yes, give it to us.
Okay, one, dog poop. I
Okay.
can't blame the dogs. I gotta blame all the freaking owners that don't clean the dog poop.
Okay.
2, holes. They do not fix stuff. I was telling a story before about how I was running for a micro. My entire leg went down into a hole because they don't fix them and they don't cover them.
No. And so you have to pay attention when you're walking.
And see, okay,
Or,
you know,
this is an
like,
example of
this
what
is-
Anthony's talking about. This is a small hole, but that hole goes on forever. So if your
Yes.
baby's walking down the street, your baby might lose their shoe.
Yep.
If your phone falls down there, it's gone forever.
If you're riding a bicycle and it's got a thin tire, boop. Okay, you see? So that's definitely the holes all over the city. It doesn't get fixed. I understand it's a poor country, so you have to pick and choose. But what happens is the city is so damn big, they kind of go neighborhood by neighborhood. By the time they get to your neighborhood, the other neighborhood new potholes have started.
Yes.
So
And
that's one of my pet peeves.
it's not really potholes as much as sidewalk holes, right?
No,
Or do you see a lot of
it's
potholes?
potholes in the street. I used to live in East Apalapa.
Okay.
All right, so you saw the expression on your face?
Yeah,
Okay.
uh-huh,
That's
yeah.
the poor area, but I lived in a nice area of East Apalapa.
Uh-huh.
And there was a hole that was so big, they didn't have a tire in it, They had, the tires for 18-wheelers?
Yes.
The big-ass tire?
Yes.
They had a 18-wheeler tire in the hole, and this was on the street.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
I don't know if it's the Tlawak or Tlalpan. I think it's Tlawak is the name of that street. But this was in the street.
Okay.
The cars would literally stop and go around.
All right.
Yeah. So it's not just the sidewalks, it's also the streets.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the third thing is it's just too many people. I mean, everybody wants to move to Mexico City because there's a chance and opportunity to have a job, to do stuff here.
Okay.
So it's just getting more and more and more, and they just keep building more buildings and more buildings and more buildings.
Okay.
So I think eventually I'm definitely going to settle here, or I'm settling here, but I think I'll end up moving to like Querétaro or someplace that's close enough to the airport I can get around, but at the same time it doesn't have the congestion that exists in Mexico City.
Okay.
My favorite time in Mexico City was the pandemic, because I could walk around, I could go to Metro, I could take pictures of the murals, and it wasn't 1,000 people in my photo.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I liked it because everything wasn't super crowded. If I was on the subway, I could actually stand as opposed to stand.
Besides like the top neighborhoods that everybody always talks about, where would you tell a black person thinking about moving to the city, what neighborhoods would you tell them to consider?
If you want to be closer to the action, Escondon.
Okay.
All right, it's close to Roma and Condesa, but it's more Mexican and it's less. The prices are lower. Or where I am in Azcapotzalco. So Azcapo has a few different neighborhoods, Santa Maria, Rivera, that are kind of like on the line, I think maybe. And others like where I am, and Electricitas Libertad, which is in Azcapotzalco, because it's nice, it's quiet, you have trees along the street and that kind of stuff. And the reality is you are a taxi or Uber ride away from 3 different metro stations. It's not that far from everything, it's a little bit in the north, but those are the sections that I would say.
What advice would you give any black people considering moving here?
You have a double identity. You're black, so Mexicans like you, but you're gringo, so Mexicans don't like you. You have to be aware of both. You have to be aware of when to utilize either one.
And that's all, folks. We walked some more and then went to breakfast at a local spot that was very, very filling. All 10 of us ate for $54. Many people had more than one plate to eat for breakfast. It was a good day and a great walk.